Hi, good afternoon. Nicole Snow here. Today I wanted to share some more information on being able to persist even when you're really struggling, when we're faced with that choice of persisting versus shrinking. And as I train at our gym and at Krav Maga and being able to fight or self-defense, one of the things that we talk about is winning moments of time. Because more than ever, especially after training, I know more than ever that I'm not training to be able to go a dozen rounds in the boxing ring with a 200-pound guy. That's not going to happen. What I'm training to do is to make rapid decisions that I've practiced many, many times so that I can win moments in time. I'm not worried about winning the day, winning the whole fight. I'm worried about winning those moments and focusing on what's ahead of me. And when we've talked about it at the gym, that's reminded me of when I worked in the hospital, in the newborn nursery or labor and delivery, and in lots of occupations, actually, people use a decision tree. So when you're handed a baby that's gray, that's not breathing, you go through your decision tree and you practice it enough times, you don't have to sit and read it. But your questions are at every different stage. Is the baby breathing? Yes, and we go to this decision. No, then we go to this decision. Is there a heartbeat? Yes, no, and muscle tone, all the way down the decision tree to the point of having a patient at stability. So when you're handed that child, or when someone comes in the emergency room, yeah, they may have a broken leg or even something as serious as a cancer, but if they're bleeding out, treating the broken leg or the cancer makes no sense. You're assessing and addressing the threat, the greatest threat. And so I think when we talk about persisting, one of the things that can cause us to quit or to really struggle is feeling like we have to win everything at once. We have to win the whole fight. We have to be winning at life every moment that our eyes are open every day. And that's just not true. Really what we need to be doing is winning those moments of time. And one of the things that robs us of winning those moments of time is something called the negativity bias. And psychologists say that we've developed this throughout human history because it was almost always more important to be able to notice, remember, and assess incoming threats and negative experiences than the positive. Say you're out hunting for food or you're gathering food. That's really important, but it's not more important than noticing the boulder rolling down the mountain at you, or the arrow that's been shot at you by someone else, or these physical dangers in the way. Those become more important because you'll live to hunt another day, you'll live to forage for food another day if you assess the threats. So they say that we've actually come to have this negativity bias in our mind, and it influences our implicit memory, how we experience the world. We're many, many more times to hold on to and remember negative experiences than we are positive ones. And that's really sad because even when we're struggling, there are good things happening in our life because we have good people around us, because we felt the sun on our face that day, all of these small things, but we don't hold on to them. In fact, negativity bias shows up in a lot of ways. For example, in a relationship, it typically takes 5 good interactions to make up for a single bad one. Talk about mom guilt. But I think it's like Stephen Covey talks about having emotional bank accounts, and that we constantly need to be putting deposits in the accounts for those people around us, and we need to take care of ourselves in a way that we have some reserve and we've built up a savings account emotionally. Another thing that studies have shown is that people will work much harder to avoid losing $100 than they will to earn $100, which says a lot about us. And again, that painful experiences stick in our memory much, much longer than our positive ones. But the good thing about that is that when we're aware of something, we have the opportunity and the ability to change it. So one of the ways that researchers say to address this is to hold on to the positive memories by actually experiencing them. That we go through our days so quickly that maybe we're holding a baby and the baby smiles, and then we're quickly on to we got to do laundry, we got to whatever. And they're saying for every positive experience, if we can just pause and experience it for at least 30 seconds, and that's not very long, but it shows how little we really do it, that if we can just sit in that positive experience for 30 seconds and hold it with us, whether that's a sunset or an unexpected compliment, or you completed a batch of emails, or dinner was really good. I don't know, whatever it is, those really small, winning those small moments of time. But we actually have to sit in them for a moment and experience them purposely, because our brain isn't wired to do that. And that just seems so against common sense, or against how it should be. But the more I read and the more I study, the more I find, that every parenting instinct I have, every relationship instinct, they're pretty much the opposite. So I think this probably goes without saying that this definitely is true. So that's the challenge, is to tease out and pull out those moments of time that you're winning today, that something good does happen, because they're there. But we don't live in them, we don't experience them, and we don't hold on to them so much as we do the negative. So find the things that you can do for someone else that will be that positive thing that they can hang on to build up their emotional bank account. And then when you have those experiences today, from thinking about last week's 2 weeks ago challenge with Darren Hardy, to write down one thing you learned. If you're alive and you had the opportunity to be alive today and to learn something new, that's real and that's good, and that's winning moments of time, and that's positive. And sit in that moment and choose to experience that joy, because we can only, right now is the only time we can experience it. We can remember what joy felt like. We can anticipate joy in the future. But this moment, winning this moment in time, is the only time that we can experience it. So that's the challenge, is for you to win those moments of time today by just holding on to them. It's not even about creating them or coming up with something new or having this profound increase in strength. It's powerful because it's taking something that's already in your life, and by simply acknowledging it and being aware of it, growing your life and winning that moment in time. So that's the challenge for today. Thank you.